Hello and welcome. Recently, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced a firm stance on the Strait of Hormuz, saying that no country can charge ships for passage through the vital. This statement marked the first stop of his Middle East visit, which will span 3 Gulf Arab capitals as Washington seeks to clarify its position after a first round of negotiations in Switzerland. Rubio arrived in Abu Dhabi, where he delivered a clear message: no country is allowed to charge tolls or fees on an international waterway. That is existing international law, and we expect it to hold in Hormuz as well. The statement signals a blue-sky policy attitude toward one of the world's most important shipping lanes. A memorandum of understanding signed between the United States and Iran last week recognizes that Iran exerts some control over the strait. It also notes that Iran and Oman, the 2 countries that border the waterway, would address its administration. Crucially, the document guarantees no toll for 60 days, but it does not obligate any further restrictions after that period. Iran, meanwhile, has maintained that it has the right to impose charges, deflecting the claim as fees for unspecified services rather than conventional tolls. Shipping analysts, however, point out that the terminology is effectively a semantic rebranding. This stance clashes with U.S. positions, particularly President Trump's recent social media post denying that any tolls could be implemented unless they were imposed for the United States, a statement Rubio did not directly address. Rubio, serving also as President Trump's national security advisor, has returned to the Middle East after the United States and Israel launched a conflict against Iran less than 4 months ago. Shortly after landing, he hinted at theory that Iran, for domestic political reasons, has denied agreeing to IAEA inspections, despite negotiations in Switzerland. "We know what they agreed to," Rubio said, underscoring that Iran should either comply or face further U.S. action. This conversation follows Vice President J.D. Vance's remarks on Monday that Iran agreed to inspections, and President Trump's confirmation on Tuesday. Iranian officials continue to dispute these claims, generating uncertainty. Rubio's comments signal a pivot to tighter pressure. If Iran fails to fulfill its commitments, the U.S. would discuss further measures. The ripple effects of the U.S. position album read as a safety net for global commerce. Shipping in the Persian Gulf and beyond stands to avoid sudden tariff shocks that could destabilize oil transport. And while the 60-day non-discrimination period offers short-term relief, the future remains open. That concludes our briefing on the current U.S. stance on the Strait of Hormuz. For more updates, keep following and stay engaged. Until next time, I'm your host. Thank you for listening.